Hi, I'm Louise, and welcome to Yoga Without Downward Facing Dog. If downward facing dog is a pose that you don't really enjoy, then this class is for you. Going to guide you through a slow flow with a little bit of strength, a little bit of stretching, and no downward dog whatsoever. So if you're ready, you can grab a block if you prefer to use one to bring the ground to you, and I'll meet you at the top of your mat. Comfortable at the top of your mat. Today we're going to be moving back and forth between the front and the back of the mat, just for something a little bit different. If you have blocks and you'd like to use them, you can just put them within reach. I'll show you where you can use those to make some poses a bit more accessible. When you're ready, just find yourself in a comfortable seat, whichever is most comfortable for you. If cross-legged works for you, you can do that. If sitting on a block or a pillow makes that a little bit more accessible, you can do that as well. Just hands on the knees. You can give your shoulders a little bit of wiggle out. I like to wiggle my hips a little bit to make sure that both sit bones are grounded into the mat. And start with a nice deep cleansing breath. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You can even sigh it out a little bit. Let's do that again. Okay. You can plant your left hand next to your left thigh and reach up with your right hand. And nice side stretch. Feel as much space you can between your right hip bone and your right fingertips. Try and keep your back as if you were going to lean up against a wall. So you're really feeling the stretch in the side body and not leaning forward. Another deep breath here. And on the exhale, bring your right hand by your right hip, left hand on your left knee. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, look over your shoulder. Keep both hips planted firmly into the mat and twist from above the waist. Another breath here, and exhale back to center. If you'd like to switch the cross of your legs right now, you can do that. So the more unnatural side is in front. Plant your right hand near your right thigh. Inhale, left arm up. Try and look a bit towards your armpit, like your chin is going towards your armpit. So you're leaning, you're nice and straight, you're not leaning backwards or forwards. Breathe in, feel that side rib cage expand. Another inhale here, and exhale, left hand back, right hand on right knee. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, look towards your left shoulder. Gentle twist. You don't want to be craning anything, forcing your body. And on your next exhale, back to the center. Give your shoulders a little wiggle out. Shake your wrists. Let's come into tabletop position. Hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Grip the mat. Feel all four corners of your palm and the first row of knuckles and fingertips into the mat. Knees under your hips. Tuck your tailbone slightly. Pull your belly button towards your spine, so nice flat back. And on your inhale, we're going to chest up, bum towards the sky. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round everything up into your cat pose. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back. You can start to move a bit intuitively here, so at your own pace. If one feels better than the other, my upper back is a bit tight, so the rounded cat pose feels really good for me today. I like to give it a little bit of sway sometimes. Sneaky little wrist warm up as well. And just 2 more wherever you are. Exhale round. Last one. Inhale, pull that chest through the shoulders. And exhale, round your upper back. Come back to tabletop. Find your flat back. Pull your belly button in a little bit. And we're going to take our left foot. We're going to put it back, curl our toes under. And we're just going to rock back and forth with a bit of a calf stretch here. And again, a little bit of a sneaky wrist warm up as well. Make sure you're not collapsing down into the shoulders and the wrists. Push that mat away from you. You should feel this in your whole body. And next time you come back on the toes, just push just a little bit. A nice stretch in the calf. Back to center. You can take your right knee, swing your foot out just a little bit like a kickstand. Drop your left foot down so the foot is parallel to the mat. And bring your left arm up, chest open towards the left side of the mat. Supported side plank. Push the mat away from you with your wrist or with your hand. And just breathe here. A little bit of strengthening. And on your next inhale, we're going to push ourselves off with our right hand up to a kneeling position. If you need to adjust a little bit, find what's comfortable for you. If your knee feels a little bit of pressure, you can always fold up your mat, put that underneath your knee for a little bit extra support. Your foot and your knee should be slightly in line, tailbone tucked. And just take your left hand and just kind of rest it near the back of your leg. We don't want to put any pressure on the leg. And like we did when we first started, we're going to inhale our right arm up. Feel that length between the knee and your fingertips. Whole right side of the body stretch. And on your exhale, just go to the side a little bit. You can use your right hand, just fingertips, just for a little bit of balance. Feel that nice stretch in your right side. Another inhale, and exhale, back to center. We're going to turn around this time in our tabletop towards, we're going to face the back side of your mat. So, take your right foot back, curl your toes under, and just move back and forth a little bit to get a nice stretch in the calf. If one place feels really good, you can just stay there for a few seconds. And just find a little bit of stillness in the stretch. Inhale, come back to a more neutral, kind of take all the tension out of your leg. Swing your left knee out to that kickstand. Drop your right foot down. Inhale, right arm up into your supported side plank. You should feel a nice rainbow shape in your side as you're pushing the mat away with your left hand, working those obliques a little bit. Look up towards your hand if balance allows. Take a deep breath in and exhale, right arm down. Push off on your left fingertips and rise up into our gate pose. Make any adjustments you need to. So right foot completely down onto the mat or floor in this case, in line with the left knee. If you need to double over your mat, you can do that. And let your right hand fall somewhere along the right leg. You can use fingertips a little bit if you feel like you need a little bit of a grip for some balance. Inhale, left arm up. A nice deep stretch on this side. Create as much space as you can between your left knee and your left fingertips. Take a deep breath in and exhale back to the center. Just come down to your knees for a second. Hopefully this is comfortable for you. If it's not, you can choose to stay up a little bit more like this. And we're just going to inhale the arms up and exhale the arms back down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Hopefully that's got you a little bit more awake. And no fancy transition here. We're just going to come to standing in the middle of our mat. Feet can be hip width apart. Find wherever's comfortable for you. I'm standing a little bit weird just because my room is odd shaped, but wherever's comfortable for you in the middle of the mat so you can see what's going on. And let's start with a nice body scan. So, feet hip width apart. Feel all four corners of the foot digging like into the mat. You don't want to dig your foot in, sorry about that. And as you start to go up, let's feel where the knees are. We're going to activate the knees a little bit, so pull up on the kneecaps, and you should feel your quads turn on a little bit. So active legs. And let's think about our pelvis. I have an anterior pelvic tilt, so my bum sticks out a little bit more. So when I'm in standing positions, I have to make an effort to kind of tuck my tailbone down, so my bum's kind of going towards the ground instead of straight out. And then ribs as well. I like to put my hands here and kind of tuck everything in, so everything feels nice and tight and active. Shoulders back, hands open. You should feel a lot of effort in this pose. Mountain pose, Tadasana. It's actually a very active yoga pose. You should feel your whole body working. Chin parallel to the ground. Deep breath in and sigh it out. Let's add a few arm motions with this. So inhale, arms up, look at your fingers. Exhale, back down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back down. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands back down. Take your hands and put them kind of in your hip creases right here, like right where your thigh meets your hip. And what we're going to do is we're going to work a little bit on our forward fold and how we should be bending from the hip, not from the back. So if you just place your fingers here, take a deep breath in with nice active lower body, and we're just going to slightly bend forward with a flat back. You'll feel your fingers start to squeeze a little bit. You're going to feel your legs turn on a little bit. And then inhale, back up. So instead of just slumping forward for your forward folds, you want to do it a bit mindfully. Feel the fingers in those little ridges there, flat back. And back up. If you have a block or a water bottle or even like a book or like a DVD box set, it'll help you as well because you can bring the ground up to you a little bit more. So go back into your mountain position, root your feet, activate your legs, tuck your pelvis, bring your ribs in a little bit so everything's not just flaring out all over the place. Inhale, arms up, try and touch your hands together. Exhale, hands out to the side, swan dive down. Here's a great place if you have your block. You can bring the floor to you, hands on the block, nice flat back. Don't forget, you can have a little micro bend in your knees. If you prefer to go without a block, you can always bend your knees to keep that nice belly to thigh contact and fingertips down to the mat. Drop your head ever so slightly. Look between your knees. Try not to round your back. And on your next inhale, we're going to come back up. Step your feet out to about a little bit more than shoulder width. So nice comfortable stance. You want to feel like you're able to stand with integrity and not like your legs are too far out and you feel a bit wobbly. Feet should be parallel to the sides of the mat. Knees slightly bent. And we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. So remember, knees slightly bent, legs active. You should feel your quads turn on, tailbone tucked. You can put your fingers in the crease of your thigh again. Take a deep breath in and exhale, flat back. Again, fingertips to the mat or to a block or a water bottle. If you have a little bit more, you can put your palms to the mat, or if you like to hold your ankles, whichever is most comfortable for you. Knees can always be bent. Sits bones should be reaching up towards the sky, so your bum's kind of shining up towards the sun. Take another deep breath here. And exhale. Next inhale, we're going to come all the way back up. Make any adjustments you need to. And back foot, we're going to keep parallel. Front foot, we're going to turn outwards. So try and line up your heel with your arch on your back foot. If you need to adjust your footing a little bit, if you need to bring your foot in a little bit more, or if you find it out a little bit more, if you have a little bit more flexibility, open your arms into a T, warrior two. Your right knee should be bent, and use your right bum cheek to open it up. So you don't want your knee to be falling inward, you want to be tracking over your toes straight ahead. Tuck your tailbone, torso stacked over your hips, arms straight out. Look over your right fingertips. Embrace the little bit of shaking. We're making our legs work here. Just one more breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to drop our left arm. Inhale, right arm up. So nothing changes in the legs. We're just leaning back a little bit. Again, like we did in that gate pose, just with your fingertips on the back of your leg. Look up past your elbow. And on your next, take a deep breath in. On your next exhale, we're going to come forward. Right elbow to the inside of your left knee, or right knee, sorry, and reach up. Try and open your chest out to the front side of your mat. This would be a nice place to use your block if you'd like. Put it next to your foot, rest your hand, and open up this way. If you don't have a block, you can always try and keep it up with the core strength. You will feel some wobbles. Another breath here. And exhale. Straighten your right leg. Bring your feet in. Shake it out just a little bit. A little bit of leg strength today, so you might be feeling that. Now this time, we're going to turn our feet outwards instead of them being parallel. If you put your arms up like this, you should feel like a giant X, sometimes nicknamed star pose. Inhale, look up, hands together, and on the exhale, bend the knees, squat down just a little bit. Try and keep your back straight, bum out, go down as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale, straighten everything up. Exhale, back down. One more time. Inhale, up, hands together, bring them towards your chest. We're going to stay here for a few seconds. If you want, you can kind of bend and straighten your knee, get a little bit of a wiggle going on there. And then let's find some stillness. Goddess pose. Embrace those wobbles, embrace the little bit of leg shake, embrace that strength and energy you're bringing to your body. One more breath here. And your next inhale, rise up. Exhale, relax. Right foot, let's move it back to parallel across the mat. Left foot, we're going to turn facing the back side of the mat. So again, heel to arch alignment. Bend into that left knee. Open your arms up, warrior two. Bend into your left knee. Push into the knife edge of your right foot. Feel that strength. And on your next inhale, right arm down, left hand up. Nothing changes in the legs. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Come back forward, either left elbow to left knee, right arm straight up, or left hand to block, right hand straight up. Nothing changes in the legs. Keep all four corners of the foot pressing into the mat. Try and keep that knee opening up. Another breath here. And on your next inhale, straighten both legs. Come back up. Both feet parallel towards the edges of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flat back. Forward fold, hands to a block, hands to the mat, hands to ankles, whichever is most comfortable for you. Inhale, hands to the waist, and rise back up. You can bring your feet in together. I'm going to do a little bit of balancing now. Balancing on one foot is never my specialty, but a little bit of tree pose since we've opened up our hips, prepared our legs a little bit. So, start with a little bit of a, kind of like a marching motion here where you're rising up on the ball of your foot, and then bring the left foot into the mat, right foot up on the ball. So, you can bring your foot just alongside your ankle like this. Nice flat back. Find a point a few feet away from you that you can focus on that isn't moving. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your foot up a bit more. I'm wearing socks today, so it's going to be super slippery. Just don't put your foot on your knee. So, inside of the thigh. Make sure you're pushing your right leg into your right foot. I'm just going to stick with sliding it up my calf a little bit. Feel those wobbles. Another breath in here and exhale back down. Let's walk that out a little bit. And now for right foot. So right foot into the mat, come up on the left foot, the left ball of the foot. Hands in prayer at your chest, and bring your left foot to your ankle or slide it up your calf a little bit. Remember to keep the foot off the knee. Embrace any wobbles. Find yourself a drishti, a focus point that's not moving. Everybody wobbles a bit while they're balancing. Sometimes you just don't see it. Another breath in here. And exhale back down. If you'd like to work on that a little bit more, you can always pause the video and, go back and forth with the balance. Balance is weird. It kind of changes day by day. Some days you can nail a one-legged balance really easily, and some days it's just your wobble all over the place. The wobbling is good because it helps build strength in your body. And now we're just going to come down to a nice seated position on our mat. So, right leg out, left foot tucked in towards the thigh. If you can put your leg out, a little bit of an angle while you face forward. Take a deep breath in here. Inhale, just walk your hands forward a little bit. Not expecting you to go deep on this. Nice flat back. And next inhale, walk your hands back up. We're going to turn so our torso is facing towards our right leg. If you need to bend your knee a little bit, you can even put your block underneath your knee. It'll help make it a bit more accessible to reach forward. It's not about the depth at all. It's just about having a stretch. So inhale, chest facing towards your thigh, and exhale down. Try and keep a nice flat back. Foot active. Give your toes a little bit of a wiggle towards you. My socks are covered in dog hair, the fun thing of having 2 white dogs. On your next inhale, walk yourself back up. Let's switch the legs. So left leg out, right leg in the center. Find your center again. Inhale, walk yourself forward, flat back. Use your palms into the mat. You don't need to fold all the way. Just finding a stretch in the lower back and the hips. On your next inhale, walk yourself back up. Turn towards your left leg. Inhale, exhale, walk your hands forward. Try and keep that belly to thigh contact. And again, don't force yourself to go deep, just to feel a stretch. Wiggle your toes towards your face. Inhale, back up. Let's come down onto our backs. When you get there, just give yourself a little bit of wiggle out. Plant your feet so your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Just move your legs back and forth a little bit, like a windshield wiper. Come to center. Bring your heels towards your bum, just so maybe your fingertips can graze them. I have very long arms, so mine can touch pretty easily no matter where they are. Tuck your tailbone So your bum is going towards the end of your mat. The whole of your lower back should be on the mat. Tuck your chin slightly towards your chest so you feel a little bit of lengthening in the back of your neck. Feet hip width apart. Root all four corners of the feet into the mat. And on your inhale, squeeze your bum, slowly lift up your pelvis. You should just feel your shoulder blades pushing into the mat, and your feet, your heels feel like they're dragging back towards you. Exhale, slowly lower down. Try and do one vertebrae at a time. You can let your knees go together for a second for a little bit of a rest. Bring your knees back, hip width apart. Inhale, up again. Bridge pose. Feel your whole lower body working here. Nice stretch in the lower back. Exhale down. Let's do that once more. Feet planted into the mat. Tailbone towards the end of the mat. Inhale up. You can use your hands, push your hands into the mat, help give you a little bit more balance. Squeeze your bum. Take a deep breath at the top here and exhale back down. Take your arms out to a T. Bring your knees together. Scooch your hips slightly off to the right. Bring your toes off the ground and let your legs drop over to the side. Try and stack your hips on top of each other. Keep your shoulders into the mat. You can always put a block underneath your legs, so bring the ground to you, so it's a little bit more of a gentler twist for you. You don't want to be craning anything. Your legs don't need to be touching the ground. If it feels good on your neck, you could look out towards your right hand. Take a deep breath. It might feel a little bit restricted because we're twisting. And exhale, plant your feet, bring your knees back up. Rearrange, so back to center, shoulders flat against the mat. And then on your next inhale, bring your hips over just a little bit and let your knees fall to the right side. Try and keep both shoulders square to the mat. Again, if you need to drop your knees onto a blanket or a block or a pillow, whichever works best for you, make this pose work for you. Don't try and force your body into the pose. Try and keep both shoulders pressing into the mat. Another breath here. In and out. And next inhale, plant your feet. Bring your knees back up towards the ceiling. Scoot your bum back to the center. Lengthen your tailbone again. One foot out, the other leg out. Shoulders pushing down into the mat. Chin slightly towards the chest. Feel the length in the back of the neck. Take a deep breath here and sigh it out. If that felt good, you can do it again. Inhale. Sigh it out. Shavasana, a well-earned rest. Just let yourself find some stillness, some peace and quiet. Give your body a reward for doing this class. Your legs probably feel a little bit wobbly, or maybe even some nice energy flowing through from that strengthening. Give them a thank you for supporting you through this practice. Let your shoulders push into the mat. As your chest goes up and down. Thank your shoulders and your arms for being able to help you stretch, for supporting you in tabletop. Hopefully this class felt good on your body and you enjoyed it, and you didn't even miss downward dog one bit. Give yourself permission to stay here as long as you wish, as long as you feel comfortable, happy, at peace. Sometimes the best thing we can do for our body is to do absolutely nothing. I hope you enjoyed this class, and if you would like, you can always check out my tutorial on downward facing dog, so other classes that have downward facing dog don't seem so daunting to you. As always, I upload new videos every single week. If you enjoyed this video, you can give me a like and leave a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.